Thank God you came. How many more days could I wait? Make plans with you, and I won't let them fall away. I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Jealousy cry. Just can't feel what Hi, this is Tracy Braxton, and you're watching the Bobby
Hi, I'm Laura with the BobbyPin.com.
Hi.
And my question is, Crash and Burn for debut
sites. They remind you of the horrors of the history. And Ghana was involved. But countries like Benin, we have also Nigeria, we have Angola, we have Senegal, we also have Cameroon. They played huge parts. Ghana's history places it at the center, and so does its leadership today. But can a symbolic UN vote turn into real change for descendants of those that were enslaved? That's a very important question, Judge.
Yeah, maybe the vote itself was unprecedented. We must appreciate and getting the support of our.
Well, I appreciate this history that they're giving us, you guys. This is about President Muhammad, right? His visit to the UN asking for reparations. So they've been trying to cover it thoroughly. They did talk about him going over there, and then they talk about the transatlantic slave trade also. So now they're going into Ghana, and how Ghana really did have a role in selling slaves. Cameroon, and Benin, a lot of them Africans sold their people into slavery. And them low down dirty dogs, they never came to look. They never tried to fight to get them back. Just suffered over there in the United States. And now we rose up to be more successful than they are, and they are jealous. Everything they do, they have to attach themselves to us. Everything they say, they have to attach themselves to us, to the FBA.
123 countries. There was, a massive support and backing, for the Ghana-led initiative, and it triggered, reaction across West Africa. And when we were sampling the reactions, because we've been speaking to people and hearing what people are saying, what comes out is, skepticism. And some are wondering, will this really yield any benefit at the end of the day? But some are so, happy about, the UN recognizing this as a, grave.
Okay, y'all, I've heard this so many times as an elder, you guys. All these promises, they promised us 40 acres in the mule. We still ain't got that. Promises, we as FBA, we want action, right? This don't phase FBA. It don't phase us because, for one thing, we know it's just symbolic. UN is not gonna do nothing. They just sitting down talking, and then when it's over, everybody go their own ways. Of course, the United States voted against, saying that that was the gravest crime against humanity. That don't shock us, do it, y'all? All right.
Crime against humanity.
Which is very, very important, and I had to speak when I was speaking to Minister Ablakwa. One of the questions I asked him was, what concrete outcomes does Ghana expect from this UN resolution, given that the UN is not having any power, to implement, legal reforms? This is what Minister Ablakwa told us.
This has enormous significance. It is going to ensure that over 12.5 million of our ancestors who went through the door of no return, and the perpetrators thought that they will never return, they will never be remembered, there will never be justice. 25th March 2026 will forever go down as the day when the international community said no to impunity, no to forgetting the victims of the transatlantic slave trade, and agreed to create a framework that will ensure that reparatory justice is achieved.
So reparations remain highly contested globally. What practical form does Ghana believe reparations should take at this point in time?
So our resolution looks at reparatory justice within a multiple framework. So it is not just about financial compensation, which is important and must be pursued, but there are also issues related to artifacts. There are thousands of artifacts looted from the continent. We expect all those artifacts to be returned.
You know, you guys, I do wish they would get those artifacts back. They deserve their artifacts back. But, alright, the Europeans don't want to get those artifacts back. Y'all been asking for these artifacts back for hundreds of years. So what are you going to do? Because they're not going to give you the artifacts back. You are a different generation, right? You need to use a different tactic in getting your artifacts back. They already told you no. Your grandfather, your grandpa, your uncle, your mama, your daddy, everybody, the whole neighborhood been going trying to get them artifacts back. And they keep saying no, 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 no. So you got to think of a strategy, minister, to get those artifacts back, to be returned to you guys. And you deserved it. You really do.
And to the continent, we want a comprehensive return of all of these artifacts. Then there are also courses that we expect that reparatory justice will address. We are looking at education, skills training. We are looking at empowerment schemes for the victims of the transatlantic slave trade, their descendants, because they continue to suffer, to live in squalor because of the structural inequalities that slavery and racism creates. Then we are also looking at the current global...
He names it transatlantic slave, that you guys were selling us to the transatlantic slave. So now I'm confused. Are you talking about your people, your Africans, or are you talking about FBAs? Because FBA, we good. We good. We gonna fight for our own reparations. You do you, and we'll do us.
Which continues to perpetuate discrimination, perpetuate racism, where the color of your skin determines the opportunities that you will get. All of those structural racism that continues onto this day. We want all of that addressed. So that is what this monumental UN declaration will achieve. And I can confirm to you that immediately after the success of this resolution, we have discussed within our broad coalition, we are going to set up a panel of experts to now move to the next stage. Remember that the African Union decided to dedicate a whole decade from 2026 to 2035 for us to achieve our destination.
Does this particular resolution risk deepening global divisions rather than building consensus? What do you think about?
Okay, I'm going to end it right here, you guys, because they attach the transatlantic slave, which is the FBA plight. When they do that, they know that they can get
Ambitions left and right. This country is throwing its poor blacks and whites out on their ass.
You know what? Since you started it, sis, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. Your entire country is a failure. Your entire country is a failed state, which is the reason why you had to leave in the first place, right? So if we want to talk about success here, there, or anywhere, you already come from a lineage of failure, right? A lineage of people who cannot figure out basic infrastructure and who literally blames everybody else for their failures except themselves. Constantly blaming colonialism and white people for all of your problems, blaming stealing resources, when even if they were to pull out from your nations, I don't even know how any of that works, but even if they were to just completely stop doing it, would you even know how to industrialize your resources? Would you even know how to make manufacturing plants and how to distribute products around the world? Like, would that even help the average everyday citizen from your country? Because I'm not really seeing too much progression. I'm really just seeing a lot of pointing the fingers and they coming over here and then trying to compare your top 10% to our bottom 10%. Like that's literally what y'all do. Like comparing your top 10% to somebody else's bottom 10% is not the flex that you think it is, sis. Like, and that's what y'all tend to do because you don't want to, you fail to mention the fact that there's a whole vetting process. At least as far as I'm concerned, there's a process that they don't just let anybody over here, especially not from African nations. I know they don't just let anybody over here. So like the Yahoo boys and the thugs and the scammers and all of that, they keeping them over there where y'all at. So they're not letting idiot everybody over here because you're not comparing apples to apples. You're not coming over here and comparing doctors to doctors, lawyers to lawyers, nurses to nurses, because we got all of that too. We got business owners too. But you want to come over here, throw shade, compare yourself to the lowest level of society, trailer park white people, ghetto projects black people, knowing damn well that is not the reality for the vast majority of Americans. I know a guy that lives about 20 minutes from me, been on here for a long.
Well, young lady, they say that, but even our ghettos, it's an upgrade to where they come from in that village. But I just showed y'all this because, FBAs have always been good. Just good to everybody. Y'all come on, everybody come on. We welcoming everybody, y'all. We were taught to love. Turn that other cheek and just love. Because, if you grew up like I did in the Bible and in church, that's all they talked about. So you try to love, and you thought that these people was going to return the same kind of kindness back to you. No, that's not what happened. So now that, FBA, we tired of this, right, y'all? We tired of this. So what's going on? This y'all young people, y'all tired and grandma tired too. I'm tired. Just think, y'all, I went through the civil rights, the Jim Crow days. God done got me through that. The Black Panther days, the riots. I've been through it in this country, but I'm just a strong black woman, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Please make sure y'all like and make sure y'all subscribe. I need 1,000 people. I need 200 more, y'all. But anyway, thank everybody for being on my channel. Listen, you guys, the chat was tearing those reporters up, those African reporters. Okay, Ed Bamboo says, boy, stop playing. There are archived records and corresponding letters illustrating African's kingdom willing participate in the transatlantic. Oh, they don't want to talk about that, you guys. Colorful fella says, no dime, not one dime. That's right. Colorful fellows say not one dime, no dime should come to the people who sold their brothers. The reparations should go to African American and people of African descent. All righty. Now CK said, Ghana president want to sell slaves in 2026? Yes, he can. Yes, he do. He's trying. His ancestors sold slaves and collected the money some centuries ago. But this man still wants to collect. And shout out to Free Too Much. That's right. The nerve of Ghana president. And y'all know that the same day he had his vice president signing a military deal, some kind of security deal. where they would directly be in Ghana. Missiles, explosion, drones, everything, y'all. That will put the whole of Africa at a military disadvantage, y'all. So we're gonna see what's happening, but it don't sound right to me. It don't sound right. Oh yeah, and okay, Burkina Faso is right next door, right? Burkina Faso, y'all know Abraham Traore had just kicked France out of his country. Now President Muhammad bringing them right back out. Now you will have Burkina Faso surrounded by enemies, just trapped, you guys. So there's nothing to cheer about, nothing.
Reparations. Okay, so let's.
Now this is foundational Black American history. This is Chase, you guys. African claims foundational Black Americans are sabotaging Ghana's reparation resolution. Oh boy, I'm so glad that LBAs are free thinkers. Yes.
Play a video, and then I'll give you 3 real points why foundational Black Americans are responding the way they're responding to Ghana's president or former president going up there and quote unquote trying to get reparations. And shout out to our sister Theo the Truth, because this dude is reacting to a video that our good sister put up, reacting to Ghana's president or former president, whoever the dude was, going up there and trying to, get to our reparations back. So here we go.
Ghana's reparations resolution that they presented to the UN. And I don't know what was in the full docket, but we would end up paying reparations to Africa.
Sometimes I feel like I'm not being fair to the FBA Native Indian community. I try to understand them, put myself in their shoes sometimes, But this is some bullshit. Now, I didn't know this could be controversial. Obviously, I know this is not all African Americans here. It's just these FBA people.
And again, family, notice the slick disrespect. These FBA people, it's not the African Americans. Nigga, foundational Black Americans is a lineage, and we're going to keep saying it. I know it hurts y'all when we say that, because you really have no counter to it, because it's a lineage. So the thing is, family, they want to trick the algorithm. They want to just keep saying it's a clover, acting like it's...
Well, y'all know what else is going on now. Right after the President Muhammad left, y'all know he put the wreath over the ancestors' tomb, right? But Ghana had a flood, y'all. The ancestors are not playing with the FBAs, y'all. They're not playing. You don't mess around with us. I believe the ancestors went over there and sent that flood there. But anyway, you guys, this is foundational Black American history. This is Chase, right? He said they want to just keep saying that this is a cult, but this is a lineage. And they're trying to shame us, shame the FBA. You young people don't get ashamed. Stand on your grounds. That's right. They want to shame you. Anyway, that's Chase. Y'all need to go back over there and watch it. He's very intelligent.
Fringe organization. Foundational Black Americans is a lineage, and we are the direct descendants of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery in this country of the United States of America. And there's nothing you or any of your African tethers or Caribbean tethers can do about that, sir. African American is a misnomer. All right? It's a misnomer that got popularized in the 80s. All right? We are foundational Black Americans. Our lineage is tied to this land, going back to the days of slavery and even before that. And we don't care if that makes you uncomfortable. It is what it is. And your attitude, the little slick stuff you say, the way you're even trying to frame our lineage like it's something that it's not, is exactly why we don't want Africans representing us at the UN. This is exactly what we're talking about. But let's continue.
I have a problem with this, which is crazy. Like the fact that America, Israel, and Argentina voted against it should tell you guys something. Come on. Like, put your hatred for Africans aside for 1 second. I don't even like most Africans as well. I'm just like,
nigga, don't project how you feel onto us. We don't hate anybody. We don't hate Africans at all. See, the reality is the people who hate Africans the most are people like you. See, we know you hate Africans. Because, by the way, family, he's in the UK. Okay, so he didn't fled Africa and he's over there living in the UK. I keep telling y'all, the people who hate Africans the most are the people who flee Africa and never go back. These folks fled. They didn't try to build their homeland. They said, F that. I want to go live in the UK. They'll do anything to leave Africa. But then they want to get over into the UK. They want to get over to Canada. They want to get over here and project their insecurities and how they feel onto us. They want to get over here with this fake.
And you know what, Chase, I was thinking about how he all this mouth at FBAs from these Africans. But yet at the UN, the United States, the person that said that was a white T-man. Argentina and Israel, all of them look opposite to what we look like. But yet, he don't have a word to say. He hadn't mentioned their names. He don't have no black in his mouth for those white tea people, right? All the black coming to the FBAs, y'all. That's right. Shows his insecurity and how he feels. He's very insecure. Let's just see this, and I'm going to end it. You guys got to get over there and finish seeing this brother.
Pride. I told you the most prideful Africans, the most prideful Caribbeans are never over there. They're never in the Caribbean. They're never in Africa. They're always in some foreign land acting like they're so prideful and they're the defenders of Africa. You want to defend Africa? Go back there and build it. You dig? And stop projecting how you feel onto us. We don't hate anything. Okay? We've never dropped a bomb on Africa. We never sabotaged Africa. We've never done anything but uplift Africa.
Yes.
Okay?
That's right.
And giving Africans pride. Mm-hmm. That's why the culture that many of y'all consume globally isn't even African culture. It's foundational Black American culture, sir.
Yes, it is.
So check yourself before you wreck yourself. But let's continue.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, come on. Like she said, she didn't even read what was the
and she, shout out to our good sister Theo the Truth. You didn't have to read all the resolution to know it was a grift. You didn't have to read it, and I'm going to prove that to you. So let's continue.
What was in the resolution? She didn't read it. She has nothing, but she's just lying to her audience, and they will take it. Like, Africans don't want your money. This is not about money. Yeah, this is about dehumanization. And the only things are...
Okay, if you didn't want the money, what was the word? Don't the word reparation? I don't care if you get it in the form of scholarship, whatever. It's going to cost money. So, yes, he did ask for money. He asked for reparation.
Africans want is